And we are green. Evenly start inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Hollinger.
Drivers around the corners as long as they hit their...
Romax off the lid. We're racing race number 1. All right, live here tonight on the American Sim Network. It's the Lugnuts Racing League Pit Pass Grand National Series. I'm Matt Egan. Taking us away in the pre-race show. Take it away, Katie.
Good afternoon, y'all. Live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here tonight in our Xfinity cars, and can I tell you, the start of the week, rather rocky, but here we are at Vegas. This is going to be, I believe, a super fun track. These guys have been running some really consistent lap times, really kind of shaking up our charts a little bit. Keith Haney has kind of been, I'm not going to say dominating these series, but he has come in on a mission this season. He has had phenomenal finishes all last week. Thursday night, still a third place finish in the trucks. We've talked to a couple of our guys, and you know, they kind of tell you the biggest names to watch out for. Kevin Winter, Keith Haney, Mitch Reeves, Randy Arms, and, you know, you kind of get an idea coming into this who you need to be watching out for. But Keith Haney is on the top of your speed charts right now, followed by Brandon Murray. I personally am a huge fan of Brandon Murray, even though he's an Alabama fan. Won't hold that against him. But I did promise him that I'd bring him up tonight, see his insight on the track. I know he's been practicing here all week, so we will get a word in with the number 13 of Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray, it's Katie up in the booth. You got a copy of me?
Yeah, I got you, Katie.
All right, so out here along our grid walk, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, city that never sleeps. Gotta say, have you done any gambling yet?
No, I didn't bring no extra cash with me. I ain't gambling up here. I ain't that dumb.
See, Brooks got a hold to the pocketbook. Smart lady.
Yeah, she don't let me do nothing. I ain't got no monies.
All right, sir. So Vegas, kind of a bigger track. What's your strategy coming in tonight in these Xfinity cars?
To win.
Gotta say, you're sitting pretty high on these speed charts. You're above Mitch Reeves. The only one you've got to overtake is Keith Haney. He has put on a phenomenal show this past week. So I gotta say, what's your strategy to get in front and hold off for the victory?
I really don't have one. The biggest thing is going to be getting out front. I think clean air is going to be key. These cars drive like crap in dirty air. So if you can get out front, I think you'll be able to hold the lead. So my goal is going to be get out front early and stay there.
All right, so we've seen some strategy, not only with you and the Misfits, but a couple of races y'all choose not to qualify, kind of stay towards the back of the pack. Tonight, is it going to be the opposite? Do you try to get out front, get a good time, and then maintain that, stay out of, I'm going to say keep your nose clean and just keep that air going for you?
I don't know that it's that we've chosen not to qualify. I think it's that we've qualified poorly. For those who watched the truck race Thursday night, I qualified 24th and had to race up through the pack. So I would much rather start up front and be in front of the majority of the problems than start in the back and have to weave through them. I had to weave through about 3 or 4 different wrecks Thursday night to get up to 4th, where I ended up finishing. So I'd much rather start in front of that just to make it an easier night.
Well, the top 5 finish has still got to feel pretty good, especially if you started that far in the back. What was your strategy Thursday night in the trucks?
Hammer down. Don't, as my buddy Randy Arms always says, don't lift. It was really just to be clean. I figured if I could be clean, have good pit stops, get in and out of my pit box decently, I wouldn't have any problems. I had a great night on pit road. I think I made up like 5 or 6 spots on pit road alone throughout the night. So, of course, my buddy Mitchell Reeves deciding to pit there at the end gifted us one more spot. So I got to say thanks, Mitch, for that. But it's not fun when you start that deep and know that you have a truck that can run, or a car that can run in the top five, um, because it's a lot of crap to get through.
I totally understand. Trust me. I watch you guys enough. I'm gonna let you get back down to practice. Get back down there with the Misfits. Good luck tonight, and I really hope I see you on the interview block later on.
Hey, I really hope to be there. Thanks. I got to give a shout out to Pit Pass for sponsoring this beautiful car, and also if you guys take a look at the hood of my Supra, it's got a song by Craig Morgan on there that I think everybody should go listen to at least once. Really put things in perspective for you. So again, thanks to Pit Pass and you, KD, for sponsoring this ride, for sponsoring Misfits. We really appreciate it.
Of course, sir. Anytime.
Thanks.
All right, kind of got to jump around the interview block. I hate to try to pick guys that I haven't talked to, but he mentioned one on Thursday night that had a very questionable move there at the end. So I'm going to bump Mitch Reeves up one more time because I didn't actually get to hear the reasoning behind this late pit cycle. So bump him up, and he's definitely had a good season going so far. Mitch Reeves, Katie up in the booth. You got a copy of me?
Yeah, we got you, Katie.
All right, sir. So obviously you have come out guns blazing this season. You've had some phenomenal runs already this season. Brandon Murray, I mentioned it just now. Questionable pit call there on the end of Thursday night. What was your strategy there on that?
Well, I'm a big history person, and I took a lot of history from a race last year we ran at Lugnuts, and it backfired. But one thing I looked at it as coming out of that race was, it was my chance to kind of take a shot that some people wouldn't, and just see what happens. And fortunately, we can use that as a drop race with the unfortunate events of everybody dropping. We got another drop race added to it, so really not going to hurt us a lot in the long run, I don't think. But it wasn't. Let's just say it was a bonehead move, and that Brandon Murray has made sure he has said that numerous times every time I've talked to him the last couple of days. Thank you very much for that. But we're just going to keep rolling, and maybe we can keep this good run and keep going tonight. So.
Well, you've definitely got the momentum coming into the season, and I've got to say, fantastic finishes. Here at Vegas, I've kind of heard this is going to be the night for clean air. So do you see yourself, trying to qualify up front? Do you try to stay up front? Do you run mid-pack, or do you try to just run this race out like this?
Really, my goal every race is to qualify up front because, there's a lot of people in these races, and you never know what's going to happen, and there's not a lot of room to maneuver at majority of tracks. So if there's 4 or 5 guys wrecking in front of you, it's best just to close your eyes and hold the wheel. And my luck's not that great when I do it, so it's best just to try to avoid it at all costs and try to qualify up front. About the dirty air and all that, not sure. There's the tire fall off's pretty good. Something that's kind of been very obvious to me is with this being a morning session. The heat's going to keep building up in the track, and the car is going to get tighter and tighter as the race goes on. So that'll be an interesting development as we go through the race. But we're pretty confident through all over the top motorsports that we're going to have a good night, and hopefully we can stick to our word.
All right, sir. Well, I know you, and I've got to say it, James Lehman are absolutely the phenomenal guys to listen to when it comes to, I'm going to say, our pit windows. What kind of windows are we looking at? 90 laps. How many pit stops do you think you can get this done in tonight?
We can probably get it done within, I would say, 3 if we keep on a run. However, the thing that I've already seen very obviously is that tire wear is a big deal. So it wouldn't surprise me if you guys see some people that are trying to gain some track position duck off a little early if we get into a green flag pit stop situation. But I really could see moving forward through the race that as it goes on, people are going to be more worried about tires than they are fuel. So that's something we've definitely been talking about in our little pre-race meeting down in the team, and really just kind of waiting to get it rocking and rolling, and hopefully our assumptions of the night are going to be true.
All right, sir. Well, if anything, I hate to say this, but go out there and beat Brandon Murray. Show him what it's all about. Park that over-the-top ride right in victory lane, and we're going to wish you the best of luck. Let you get back down to practice, but thanks again for taking some time out and talking to us.
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate it.
All right, and I think I have time for one more. I'm gonna squeeze this guy in because, frankly, I love listening to this guy talk. And if you haven't had the pleasure of racing with this guy, shame on you. Mark Jackson always brings the life of the party, and I'm so excited he finally made it in. So I'd love to get a quick word in with him. Mark Jackson, it's Katie up in the booth. You got a copy of him?
Hey, how's it going?
Going fantastic. I've got to say, I actually haven't had the pleasure of having you in the booth yet. How you feeling coming into tonight?
Well, we're feeling pretty good. You know, we had some issues last week, and we had a chance tonight to get some track time, and feeling pretty good about the car. I think we'll have a good run tonight. I don't believe we might be able to get a win. Who knows? We never know. It seems like a lot of guys are getting tight after about 10 laps, so I may try the strategy of maybe take care of the tires, and hopefully we get a long run and get this thing up front.
I know that's one thing your teammate Mitch was just telling us. The tire fall off is incredible. He said maybe 3 pit window tonight. 90 laps. When these tires start falling off, do you feel the car start getting a little bit tighter? Do you feel it getting looser? I mean, how is that Camaro reacting for you tonight in the long run?
Yeah, for me, it's getting tighter, especially if you're behind someone in the draft. And I believe we did one little practice run there where we were up front, and I was able to stay up front and pull away a little bit. But then after, man, the front tires, they were toast after about 5 or 6 laps, just running as hard as I could. So it's going to be a delicate balance to take care of the tires, try to get up front. And if you find yourself in the draft, I believe you're going to have to do that even more so and try to stay out of trouble.
All right, so you mentioned conserving these tires. Do you try to hold on to a little bit of your car, or I mean, do you try to just charge out front and I mean just roll away with it and stay out front?
Well, for me, I'm lifting. 3 and 4 seems like you can go wide open, but 1 and 2, I'm having to lift and get out of the throttle a little bit. So that's going to be progress more and more as the race goes on. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, sir. Well, you've got to be intimidating to some of these guys. I see Dale on your hood. So I'm going to say go out there, do it for Dale. Park this thing in victory lane tonight. I'm going to let you get back down and get some good qualifying time, but good luck tonight.
Man, we would love to do that. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy
Of
the race,
course.
y'all.
Qualifying underway now, and it is Mark Jackson, one of the first ones out in that number 3 Chevrolet. Trent Drum, Wally Tierheimer, Kyle Chadwick, and Garrett Potts also gracing the Speedway with their presence. So here's the question: who's your bet for who's gonna have a good qualifying run here?
You know, this group qualifying kind of throws me off a little bit because this is something fairly new to me. I know it helps some of these guys, but if you get stuck behind a pack of people, I mean, that's going to throw you way off. So, like I said, this part's fairly new to me. So, I know that Murray was running up there towards the top, but Keith Haney has kind of been the guy to beat when it comes to practice. He was running, you know, great lap times, but it's like Mitch said, we're starting extremely early in the morning. It's only going to warm up. This track is falling off fast, but I mean, if you can't conserve these tires, I'm curious to see what kind of runs these guys are going to start having. If the car starts getting super tight like that, say they get in a pack, and I mean, that could just be nothing but, I'm going to say, damaging to them, because I think that would cause more cautions and bring on a whole lot more trouble.
Yeah, that is for sure, and we'll see how it all plays out. Look at Jeff Merck coming out of pit lane now, that American Sim Network machine. He's second on the speed chart. Sean Dorr runs third. Fourth, Dustin Covington. So with Covington running fourth there, and Merck looking to run second, who do you think's going to win the pole? You think our current pole sitter or you think someone else might have the skill to edge one out?
I have not seen Justin Michael make a lap yet. I mean, this guy has shown me week in, week out. He's got what it takes. I know he got the win on Sunday, but he got the win Thursday night in the trucks too. This guy is just a really good driver, and throwing him, I'm going to say him, Randy Arms, and Mitch Reeves. Those are your three guys that you really need to watch out for across all series. I know Randy's not here tonight. He is doing, I think it's a 500-lap enduro race. They were running a little behind. So I'm going to say good luck. Be safe, Randy Arms, if you're listening. But like I said, I really think these three guys are going to be the ones to beat. Even though Travis Browder is throwing down some phenomenal times out there, he had a really terrible incident right there towards the end of the race and Thursday night. So I know he was given a pep talk through the end of the race, and he said there's always Saturday. Let's just keep racing. It's part of it. We'll keep going. So he's on a mission tonight for, I'm going to say, if not a win, then definitely a top 5 finish.
Yeah, Browder definitely wanting to have a good race out of here tonight. And one of the faster drivers in this league he is, but he's going to need that good finish, and that's going to be the hard thing for him.
Yeah, he's tended to have that bad, I'm going to say bad aura, and I know that's kind of a dumb word, but he gets tangled up in some really bad wrecks, and it's not his fault. He just gets around the wrong people at the wrong time, which pays, I mean, it's horrible because I hate seeing that. I hate seeing some of these drivers, falling down like that, but I think he's setting himself up for a very consistent season. I know he's trying to come back and attempt to win a title. He's got that new wheel and pedals, so this might be the guy to watch out for.
Yeah, without a doubt. Another driver to watch out for, Sean Dorr, coming out of the gate swinging, now second on the speed charts. Trent drummed a little bit further back. Kyle Chadwick was real fast last season. Looks like that speed slacked off. He's all the way back there in 11th.
I'm just excited to see these Xfinity cars on air because, frankly, I loved watching these last season, and it was kind of hard. But now that these are on air, I'm so excited. And I know I'm super partial towards these Toyotas because, frankly, I love the way the gauges look. Very stereotypical female, I know. But, these Supras just, man, they're just cool looking.
Yeah, and checkered flag out in qualifying now, so we'll get ready to roll in the main session. Travis Browder looks like he'll be your pole sitter.
That is one I did not see coming, but if anybody deserves it, it's that 18 right there.
Score one for Browder, and you know what? The funny thing is, winter season last year, I believe he scored his first win in race number 3. So we're one race early. I want to say race number 2 is what I meant to say. It was at Atlanta. So, looking at that, maybe a repeat success story for Mr. Travis Browder there. We'll see, of course, how it all plays out. Jeff saying I sounded far away. Well, yeah, for a second there I was having to stand away from the mic. I should sound a bit better now. Starting lineup here tonight, it'll be Mark Jackson, Trent Drum, Kyle Chadwick, Garrett Potts, Jason Lance, Craig Covington, Keith Haney, Jeff Merck, Zach McSwain, Kevin Fetty, James Haney, Ronald Klein, Judd Danielson, Brandon Murray, Paul Witt, and Gene Rogers, Taylor Potts, and Travis Browder. And I've just realized this is the incorrect starting lineup, so we'll reset this here. It'll be Browder and Dorr, Merck, Dugas, Covington, Haney, Reeves, Lance, Potts, Jackson, Chadwick, Murray, Klein, Drum. Excuse me. Tierheimer and Potts, Pansula and Witt, Cristiano and Haynes, Thornhill and Michaels, Smith and Blevins, Wells and Gene Rogers, Yarrow and Danielson, McSwain, Fetty, Brown, Allison, Haney, Voiles, and Covington rounds out your field. So that's your starting lineup here tonight, and a huge field of drivers from the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and Travis Browder, the man on a mission, out in front. The question now, who goes to victory lane?
Ooh, as bad as I want to see that 33 park down there, he has had some terrible, terrible luck over the past couple of, I'm going to say, weeks. So I can't say the T word because, it's not a good thing. But as bad as I want to see him up there, Jeff Merck is coming back for redemption. I know he wants championship number 3, but I know Mitch Reeves had a, questionable call there Thursday night, but I think he's going to try to work his way up to the front. Keith Haney's going to try to give him a run for his money, but I'm actually going to go with the 0-2 of Mitch Reeves.
Good pick to have with Mitchell Reeves. Be interesting to see how it all plays out. Mark Jackson, Trent Drum, Tierheimer rolling off. So the $1 million question, who wins it? On your formation lap now. A lot of beautifully painted cars here. Over the Top Paints and Designs, sponsor of the American Sim Network. Can't forget about them.
And not to mention, and I'm going to put it blunt, the most badass diecast that you could ever get, contact John Hedrick.
Oh, of course. Simply amazing work. Best in the business. And right now, getting ready to go racing, it is Mark Jackson, Trent Drum, Tierheimer, somewhere in the middle, but your man out front, Travis Browder. Here we go. Pace car down, and we are green from Las Vegas. 90 laps of action in the desert.
I can't ask you if you got to do any gambling.
Well, if I were as a betting man, I'd bet on that ASN car. No particular reason. But just like the way it looks, Jeff Merck trying to run the outside. Browder on the bottom. Browder looking for his first win in over a year. Almost a full year for Travis Browder since his last win. They get a great run down the front stretch to complete lap 1. Top 5 as they run at the line. Browder, Covington, Merck, Dorr, Reeves, and Sean Dorr hard into the wall. He's going to fall back. Sean Dorr having problems early in the going here at Las Vegas. We see he's back in 7th place now. Getting passed by the 99 of Taylor Potts. Taylor Potts looks to the inside of Sean Dorr here. This will be a pass for position. Sean Dorr on the top side. Potts on the bottom. Jason Lance behind them. Katie, what do you make of this?
I think if anything, Jason Lance just got my vote for, I'm going to say, a recovery of the night. I saw he had to get way hard. I'm not going to say into the brakes, but he had to lift way up with Sean Dorr falling that far back. That could have been detrimental to the back of this field. So I've got to say, phenomenal save right there by him to keep that run going, to get the car kind of dug down just a little bit, but maintain his run and keep that one clean.
Yeah, Travis Browder still your leader. Dustin Covington runs second now. And Covington second. They're already coming up on lap traffic. Corey Blevins looking to go a lap down. What happened to him, Katie? Did he just get a poor start?
That I did not see. And for somebody who had such a great finish last week, I know he was on our podium last weekend. He took 3rd place. So I got to wonder, was that, an issue on the start? Did he get into the wall? I did not see, but I can go back and look.
They definitely had something go wrong. He's about to go a lap down here. Travis Browder, Covington all over him. But they are looking to throw him a lap back. They're definitely all over him now, and they are inching ever so closer. So Travis Browder running right there. It'll be Travis Browder, Covington, Merck, Reeves, and Topper Dugas runs 5th. Topper looking really nice on track at the moment.
It looked like Corey Blevins actually didn't take the field to start. I kind of went all the way back to the beginning of the race, and he was still sitting in the pits whenever it came time to start. So maybe just a late entrance, maybe had some, I'm going to say, ignition issues. You know, still, this is a long way to go. 90 laps is a whole lot of time for him to make up that ground. So even if he does go a lap down, definitely not to get distressed, because he's going to have that opportunity to make the time up. I don't see us having a lot of cautions tonight. These guys are maintaining such a clean line. I don't see it being, you know, something super, I'm going to say caution filled, because they've got it figured out until, oh, see, and I can't talk. Y'all, man, that hurt.
Yeah, right now it is on the bottom there, Dustin Covington and Merck. Luckily, no caution, though. Very lucky, no caution for them.
Yeah, I really saw that being a caution. That could have been really bad for the rest of this field as well, having that much contact right early on. I know they ducked it off pretty quick and got into the grass, but man, that could have been bad too.
Yeah, that definitely was looking like there could have been a caution coming out of that incident.
Mitch Reeves apparently on a mission, going to that high side, bringing Topper Dugas, and probably Keith Haney with him, trying to get this pass on Browder. See if he said in our interview, he wanted to get out front. He wanted to try to run out as much as he could. King of strategy, I'm going to say that. Sometimes calls might be questionable, but he's on a mission to redeem himself from Thursday night, and I very firmly believe that.
Yeah, and right now you can see, look at Jason Lance down on the bottom trying to get by, or Kyle Chadwick trying to get by Jason Lance, actually, it looks like. So with Chadwick trying to get by Lance, what do you think of that, Katie?
I'd actually bumped a little further back in the field. I'm kind of focused on them now. I know Chadwick's had some unfortunate events too. I don't know if this is just the server issues, or we have a lot of new names in here, and a lot of these guys, you know, I'm going to say our regulars don't really know the lines they're going to run. They don't know which moves they can and can't make. So we're still so early into the season, it's hard to say, you know, that they can figure out their lines or what they can and can't do. So I think they're still trying to get, you know, a sense of how these guys are going to run around them and, you know, see how they can make their passes the cleanest. I know we have 2 drop weeks now, so I think that's going to play a factor into your season end for sure. But these guys are still coming for a championship. They want that die cast, they want that win, and I think more than anything, they're going to want these bragging rights.
Yeah, and most of these drivers, you got to remember, use that drop week really early on.
I don't blame them. After the experiences we've had in the household this week, do not blame them at all.
Well, I'm saying they used it week 1 because of the incident with that.
So, you've seen our schedule this season. What do you think is going to be the toughest track for these guys?
Oh, well, that's a hard question to answer. Actually, I don't know what the hard track's going to be. That's a really hard question there. I'll get back to you on that one, but I'll let you know in a second. Look at this battle, though. Jason Lance, Mark Jackson, and Kyle Chadwick all having a go. They're all having a go at things right now.
Lots of trouble right there between Jason Lance, Kyle Chadwick, and Mark Jackson. I mean, I know they were 3 wide coming through there. There was a lot of beating and banging. I know they were 3 wide, but I really saw that going downhill in a hurry. So all 3 of them recovered nicely. But do you really try to get this aggressive this early on, possibly damage your chance for a good win? No fast repairs here at Lugnuts. So do you get super aggressive like this super early on, try to get your charge to the front, or do you kind of just hang out, run mid-pack, and just, you know, pray you don't have a caution right away?
Yeah, right now I'd say definitely play it safe and try to avoid any incident. We see one driver going 3 wide. That's the 87 of Justin Michael. Now 3 wide kind of work till it kind of don't. And back to your question, though, the hardest track of this season. Well, my bet's, I'm going to go with Milwaukee as we see Ronald Klein going around for a ride. I was just about to say, we've gone a pretty nice way. 16 laps without an incident, and, well, there's our first one of the night. That happened coming out of turn number 4.
I'm going to take that all upon myself because I was literally thinking to myself, the next thing I'm going to say, I want to see Rod Klein have a really good night because, once again, that's another guy who's had terrible luck, but I finally got to see him on track and running. So I want to see him have a decent finish. And like I said, I cursed him without even saying the word.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, that bad luck streak just going to keep on keeping on. Unfortunately. So, at the moment, Keith Haney, your leader, will take it to a quick caution break. We'll be right back here on the American Sim Network. So getting ready to go rolling here again. We'll be 20 laps in, and it'll be pretty exciting to see. So
Now,
19
I didn't say
pace car down. And green flag, we're racing. And you were saying?
I was going to say, I actually didn't get to stay downstairs for a second and watch that, you know, if all of our drivers pitted, obviously they did because we still have the same running order. But are fresh tires going to be an issue here? Are they going to start off on these cold tires and maybe have an issue coming back and, you know, getting this race back underway?
You know, I really hope not. I think if anything, the old tires would be more of an issue, having the drivers go slip slide around. I think right now it's pretty safe to say they're in a good spot. Everyone seemed to get away pretty nicely on that restart.
Only hesitation I saw was from the 75 of Tierheimer. He got a little squirrely there for a second, but came right back and away. I think I'd be worried. He's got Thornhill sitting right there behind him, and I can't say Thornhill's going to try to take it 3 wide. He's fixing to fight for position, but that could get kind of dicey right there.
And right now, 21 laps in, it is Keith Haney, your current race leader. Keith Haney doing a phenomenal job of it at the moment, but he's not leading by much. You see Mitchell Reeves all over his back bumper at the moment.
If anything, I've heard you talk a lot about momentum. He's had momentum coming in from Auto Club, and you know, another podium spot again on Thursday night. You think that pushes him not only to try to, I'm going to say, make a comeback into Lugnuts, because we saw him take a little break there. He's coming in and, I mean, just absolutely showing these guys that, hey, I'm not playing this season. I'm out for a championship. I'm out for every win that I can. And I got to say, he's doing a great job of it.
And right now, 23 laps to go, or 23 laps in, and Mitchell Reeves all over getting near the back bumper of Keith Haney. Topper Dugas, I think he's having the best night he's ever had right now.
Don't say the T word, Matt. It's not good.
I mean, I have to. Look at him. He's running third right now.
Yeah, he's had some, I'm going to say, connection issues. Terrible luck. He's wound up in the wrong place at the wrong time. I've seen him pour so many hours into this personally because, frankly, I have to listen to it through my whole house. But he has poured so many hours into this, and I'm glad he's able to get these good runs like this. I want to see him towards the front because, obviously, kind of partial to him. But this whole preseason, I mean, he busted his butt for everything that he could. And across all 3 races, I know it was not a championship season. It wasn't for anything, I can't even say bragging rights, but he showed up every week. He fought so hard. And I know going into this winter season, obviously we're going to be snowed in a lot. So he wants to make a name for himself. He wants to show these guys that, hey, I can run with these big dogs, trailing right along side Keith Haney, following Mitchell Reeves right there for the lead. So he's going to try it. I think he's going to try some daring lines here before too long. And I got to say, frankly, I hope I get the pleasure to interview him sometime this season.
Yeah, and you can see right now, Topper now up to second, looking to get to the race lead. He is just doing a phenomenal job right now. Can he get to the lead? We're nearing 50 laps to go, by the way. About 20 laps out of it when we get to 30. Or about 10 laps out of it when we get to 30. So we're nearing just 60 laps to go. Topper Dugas just doing a great job of things. I know you don't want me to say the name, but I mean, how can you not? This is a career night for him.
Yeah, like I said, he's poured extreme amounts of hours into this. We have upgraded just about everything we had. And, I mean, he's trying his best. He's doing everything he possibly can. So I got to say, I really hope he has a good season.
Yeah, he's having a career night right now with Keith Haney all over his back bumper. But Kyle Chadwick looking to come and potentially spoil some of the fun with him. And how about Jason Lance, who hasn't won since Iowa? And yes, I'm going to keep mentioning that until he wins again. But it's been since Iowa for Jason Lance, and that was all the way back, I think I want to say last September. So it's been about a year. It's been a minute for Jason Lance. It's been a long minute, I want to say.
I hate to see that Jeff Merck has fallen. There's my education coming out, but fallen all the way back to 16th. But we saw him last week fall all the way to the back of the pack after a caution, still come back for a top 5. So this guy right here, like I said, he's on a mission. He's got that tunnel vision towards, I'm going to say, a championship season. He told us before, and he'll say it again. He's not running for wins. He's running for consistency. He's trying everything he can to try to get that 3rd championship. I know he's got the cars. I know he's got the trucks. So Xfinity is going to be extremely particular for him because he wants that title.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. We saw last season, Jeff Merck, the thing with him is he's always not had the best runs at the beginning of the year. He always comes to life midway through the season. Now, here's a little another tidbit. Now, I don't know how superstitious you are, Katie, but I'm quite superstitious. Anytime, and we got to spin, does he save it? Yes, the 28 does. But anytime we get a driver to drive an ASN car, whether it be Merck, Randy Arms, anyone that's ever driven an ASN car, their first few outings with that car always goes poorly. Not once have we ever had a guy run an ASN car and wind up in victory lane the first go at it. They always wind up wrecking the first night or the first 2 nights. They'll find success. We've had ASN cars win, even on broadcasts on ASN, but not in the first go. It takes them a while. So I don't know how superstitious you are, but I got a feeling that paint scheme's not doing him any favors.
Oh, man, that is so heartbreaking for Travis Browder. He just got spun out, went into the infield. I see him kind of hesitating right out here.
He's stopped.
Still on track.
No caution.
Luckily, he exited out of that pretty quick because that could have been really ugly, too.
We're going to get an instant replay of that. And Travis Browder, he was your pole sitter tonight and was looking really hopeful to get his first win of the season. First win back here in almost a year at Lugnuts. Or first race back. Or first full season, because I know he did 1 or 2 races at the end of the summer stretch. But yeah, Travis Browder unfortunately having that spin, and that's going to end his night for the most part. Look at Keith Haney starting to fall back. Jason Lance looks like he's going to try and get by him. So the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Lance, doing a pretty nice run of things at the moment, but not looking too good for Keith Haney. Do you think he's going to lose that position?
For right now, yes. Jason Lance has clearly got that line figured out. He's got the momentum coming out of the corners. He's just trying to find that right opportunity to pass him and, pass him clean, because these guys, they're going to try their best whenever it comes to a pass to not make that contact and try to, hesitate the back of the field any. So he's waiting for that right time. He's going to try to get past him, but I don't see it being right now, but it's definitely coming, I'm going to say, within the next 5 laps.
Yeah, and right now, Kyle Chadwick gets that pass. How about Mark Jackson in the 3? Mark Jackson started in 10th, and he's been climbing his way up. We got a yellow flag. It is Sean Dorr, Old School's motorsports car. Saw him spin out. And it looks like John Pensula might have got a pit. Or might have got hit as well. And let's see what happened. Watch Dorr on the bottom and watch Pensula, the 01 in the middle. Looks like Sean Dorr, John Pensula, they both spun out at different times. No correlation. That was just a synchronized crash between the two of them.
I was going to say, if anything, that was synchronized because they spun out perfect. I mean, just together.
Yeah, just about at the same time right there. And right now, we'll take it to a quick caution cam. 37 out of 90 laps complete here at the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Back live here, getting ready to go racing. We'll have just about 50 laps to go. So not a lot of racing left here tonight. And who's your pick to win it?
Still going Mitchell Reeves. Hard to bet against this guy. I mean, he's got the strategy calls coming in. And, I mean, like I said, I know, I'm going to say it, I'm going to credit Murray. He had a questionable call Thursday. I think he got that out of his system. I think he's really going to try to stay out front, make the right calls, and, you know, wind up in victory lane again.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm actually going to go with the 33 at Topper Dugas as my pick. He's had such a good night so far. He'll be my go to win. Green flag, we're racing. 50 to go right here. Right now, it is a pretty good show. And you can see Keith Haney trying to get by Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick got by Haney a little bit earlier. And now it's just going to be the test of can Chadwick get by him again. Or can Haney get by Chadwick, I should say. 49 laps left. We have Ray Richard joining us now, too. Ray, what have you thought of this race so far?
Been able to watch a little bit in the beginning. Unfortunately, I ain't been able to catch too much of it because I was out tonight, but able to get into the broadcast booth for the last 3 quarters of this race. A whole gaggle of cars behind, looks to be our 5th place guy, Mark Jackson. Jackson holding his own tonight. He's been up there making some moves. I was able to see a little bit earlier. Back behind him, that Dustin Covington in that 48 seems to be fighting off the 68 of Thornhill. But Thornhill to the outside, not able to take him that time. Down the front stretch they'll go. Down to turn 1, front to back between him and Brendan Murray behind Thornhill.
Yeah, and right now, it is pretty exciting racing. Brandon Murray, as you mentioned, is looking to get by Brandon Thornhill. Murray to the inside, or look to the inside. Didn't have anything happen right there at the moment. And look back there. Look at Jeff Merck on the outside, getting by Corey Blevins, and now going to have to get by Bob Wells in that 42 machine.
Wells holding up Merrick a little bit on the outside, going down to turn 1, the 24 the inside of Blevins. He took the low line on that shot, not able to make it happen all that much. Falls in behind the 42 of Wells. Wells able to take it down through turn 3, blocking that low line this time, but behind the 24, the 28 of Chris Wells goes to the top, loses a lot of ground and opens the door on the bottom side for the 017 of Gene Rogers. Rogers losing that low line, heading down to turn 1. He'll be able to take over that spot and work his way up to the field right now in the 13th place spot, looking for a top 10 this evening.
Yeah, and Chris Voiles now on the bottom of Corey Blevins. Still, you mentioned that. And we're watching the 017 of Gene Rogers as well, looking for the position I'm sorry, blanking out on the driver, on the 28 car. So Gene Rogers just fell off a little bit, had to fall back, and he'll have to regroup himself and kind of figure out what he wants to do. Looks like a lot of these drivers right now running that middle line now, and that's the really interesting thing. These guys are up on the middle of the racetrack and not so much towards the bottom. We've always seen them run the bottom at Las Vegas. Tonight, they're on the middle. And look at Topper Dugas going for the race lead with Mitchell Reeves. Well, he's not quite there yet, but he'll be going for it soon enough. Still been all over the back end of Mitchell Reeves.
Topper Dugas to the low side, looking to get to the inside of Reeves. They're able to take him off. Coming with that momentum out of the corner, Mitchell Reeves will take it to the front. He was running away with this race here about 5 laps ago, but Topper won't have any of that. He cut that lead down to about, just a little over 10 thousandths of a second. They'll come down the front stretch here, in through the tri-oval, come down through the start-finish line. Of course, Mitchell Reeves, the leader right now. .115 separates the top 2. In third place, Keith Haney in that 87 machine. A little bit of damage I'm seeing now to the back of the 33 of Topper Dugas, right in the center there. Not sure exactly what happened earlier, but it looks like he's had it most of the night, and it seems to be to his advantage going down the backstretch. He'll take it a little bit high, able to arc it down, still trying to the outside of Mitchell Reeves, and Mitchell Reeves will fall right in line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Throw a blanket over the top 5, all the way back to the 199 of Rob Haynes.
Yeah, I would imagine Topper probably acquired some of that damage on that last restart. We saw that lead group kind of stay really gaggled up on that start, and I would imagine that's where Topper got that back end. It looks like someone's nose just kind of found its home in the middle of his back bumper for a second. Not too bad, though, just a little bit push up on the spoiler. If anything, it might actually give him a little bit of an aerodynamic advantage. Spoiler gets pushed up a little bit. He'll have a little bit better aero because he'll have a little bit of a higher spoiler, a little bit more downforce than everyone else potentially. Might actually help Topper.
Make that blanket a little bit smaller. That 189 of Rob Haynes down to the inside there of Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick to the outside. Door to door, they'll go down the backstretch right now. That low line is not preferred right now because it will chew up them tires pretty quick. The track temperature right now, only about 89 degrees. Usually it was higher last night for these trucks, actually, in the Thursday night, league. But it was about 109 at that point in time. Now, as I'm saying this, I'm watching that 33 of Topper kind of fall off from that second place. It has gained almost to a half a second lead for Mitchell Reeves in the 02, but the 87 of Haney goes up the track, loses a little bit of traction. That'll leave the bottom door open for the 88 of Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick's trying it, a fall back in line. Again, these top five, now top six. Looks like Mark Jackson's ready to join this party as well, going down to turn 3.
Yeah, and look at Keith Haney there with Topper Dugas might have made contact. And Haney slides up in front of Chadwick, barely slides up without hitting him. These tires are starting to go away on these cars, and man, was Keith Haney lucky.
Haney losing the spot right now to the 88 of Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick takes over the third spot. The 87 back to the front, trying to get down to him there on the backstretch. Door to door down to turn 3. They'll go side by side. It's a turn drag race down into turn 4. Right now, Haney to the outside, able to take and pull up away from the 88 of Chadwick. Chadwick almost falls in line, but the door was shut to the right rear of him by the 199 of Haynes. Again, Mark Jackson just watching these guys hanging out back there in hopes that somebody screws up, able to make an open line for him, but he's holding his own in 6th place.
Yeah, and look at this, side by side still for second position. Keith Haney looks like he's going to get it, and it is some great racing up here at the front of the field. Haney now in second. He's going to have to try his best not to slide up into the front of the 33, as that would prove disastrous really for both of those two drivers. Now, Katie, what do you think of this?
Sorry, y'all. I had to get my oxygen mask out. I tend to hold my breath through some of this stuff. Mark Jackson clearly coming with the slide right there through the middle. He's going to get that pass for 5th. I got to wonder if Topper's sitting back wondering, do I hold off for a little bit towards the end of this race? I know we're over halfway in, so he's got to be, I'm got to say, thinking strategy into this. I mean, do I kind of hold off a little bit of my car for that long stretch, or, do I battle everything that I have and a chance that my car falls off a good bit?
Yeah, right now 36 laps to go here. When do you think we'll get the next pit stop?
It's got to be within the next 10 laps or so. I mean, we kind of heard Mitchell Reeves say that he was going to try this in 3 laps. His first 2 cautions tended to be, right on time there. They got to have the right spot at the right time. So it's got to be coming up within the next 10 laps or so because his tires are falling off so fast.
Right now, 35 laps to go. Ray, when do you think we'll be hitting the pits?
Well, I haven't seen the last pit stop, but I'm pretty sure you can get about 30 to 35 laps out of at least a fuel tank here with these cars. Again, going back to the race on Thursday night, we were able to pull off 32 to 32 laps with the trucks. 32 to 33, excuse me. But these guys here, again, I'm not sure when the last time they pit. I joined the broadcast a little bit late, so unfortunately I didn't know that. Watching, by the way, that number 3 of Mark Jackson. Jackson ran that low line on the inside of the 199 and the 88 of Chadwick and Haynes there for about 2 laps. But again, you're down that low line with this hot heat, and all these laps on these tires is just going to eat them up. Now, as I'm talking about all this, we go up to the front of Mitchell Reeves. He has gained his half a second lead back from the 87 of Keith Haney. Haney down the back chute, still in line. Right behind him, Topper Dugas there, only 3/10 of a mile back, or excuse me, 3/10 of a second back to the 3rd place of Topper Dugas.
Right now, 33 to go. Topper Dugas runs 3rd. Robert Haynes now up to 4th. We haven't seen Haynes up front all night. What do you think he's going to make it?
He's been fighting through. He's able to make it by Jackson and Chadwick's. And actually looking at Chadwick's in the 88, he was a little skittish coming down to turn 1. He'll go up the track a little bit, leave that bottom door open for that number 3 of Jackson. But Jackson not able to get to him in time. He'll go down the back stretch, front to tail, nose to rear. We go down the backstretch into turn 3. Right now, Jackson to the high side, saving them tires. Will be able to mark it down to the turn 4 right in Chadwick's tire tracks. But But it looks like we have a new challenger. Jeffrey Merrick actually showing his own here. Coming down the front stretch. He's in the 7th position, but he is gaining on that 3 of Mark Jackson right now, going down to 1.
Yeah, and right now, 31 laps to go.
Spin, backstretch. It looks like the 48 of Dustin Covington. He'll bring it down to the inside, tap the right rear of the inside wall, out of the groove, no caution. Car is really screwed up, guys. If you look at that left front of that 48, it's almost on the ground with the splitter there, but he'll bring it back around, see if he can continue here instead of bringing it in the pits. That'll bring him down at least into 16th to 17th, even farther deep in the field, almost down to the 20-something position.
Yeah, luckily no caution, but a lot of damage for Dustin Covington with just 30 laps to go. It's pretty much over for him, unfortunately.
Still able to keep it on the lead lap. Actually looking, he settles into the 25th place. He'll be the second from last car on the lead lap. 96 being Craig Covington there. He is the last car in 26th place on the lead lap at this point in time. He's up behind him. Plenty of time to kind of keep in that top 25 for Covington. Back up front, we go to the 68. Let's see, of Thornhill, actually in 10th place position. No challenge from him right now. Had to reload my list here, guys. Sorry about the delay. As we watch the Mitchell Reeves machine, the 02 will bring it down through turn 4. He is still 1/2 a second between him and the 87 of Haney.
And right now, 29 laps to go.
Keep an eye on that 199 of Rob Haynes. Haynes has been gaining up through the field. He's in the tail of Topper Dugas right now, right in that draft of his bent rear spoiler. But again, they're able to make up ground on those front two. He's got to be able to catch that second place, get around him, and have enough time to get to the front.
28 laps at the stripe. It is Mitchell Reeves, still your leader, and he has led for the previous 44. Keith Haney's led 10. Topper, well, he's running third. He hasn't led a lap yet, but this is definitely a career night for him. Wouldn't you say, Katie?
Oh, yeah. It's looking really good. Like I said, I've got to say, he's running phenomenal. I'm kind of worried about that number 3 Intimidator ride back there. He got the pass on Chadwick, but do not look behind him. Jeff Merck has worked his way all the way back up to the front of the field, now sitting in 7th. He's right there on the bumper of, I believe it's going to be Mark Jackson, Rob Haynes. He is coming back, absolutely on a mission. There's your superstition, Matt, but he's come all the way back up to the top 10. He sees that top 5 in his sights, and he is going to set on it, and he is fixing to send it all the way up to the front.
Keep an eye on that 60, by the way, as we were talking about with Merrick. He's been running that middle line through 1 and 2, low line through 3 and 4. He's got something going on with that car. He's been saving the best for last. What are we in? Within 25 laps, I believe, right now, Matt? He's got a really...
right now.
Yeah, 26. He's got a very good opportunity. He is gaining on the rear bumper of the 3 of Mark Jackson, going down through 2. He's gaining about 1/2 a second there, coming around from last lap. As we see our 48 on the bottom there, unfortunately, he's out of the groove, out of the way.
So, yeah, really just a handful of laps left to run.
On off right there, 199.
Yep, so it looks like pit stop starting here. Robert Haynes, the first man down.
Oh, and we got somebody who is just like me and cannot enter the pits.
42 of Bob Wells, one of the other guys there. 24 of Corey Blevins. He'll take his pit right now. Everybody's going to go for 4 pressed pieces of rubber as well as fuel, because getting to the end of this thing with fuel, okay, you can fill your tank up to about 1/2 a tank, make it maybe 3/4, but nonetheless, those rubbers need to take and get a good grip on this track. 4 fresh good years of the 42 of Bob Wells. They'll bring him back to the 22nd position, but he'll be free and on his way ahead of him, the 199. Rob Hayes making his way down to the end of pit lane, rejoining the field, and this will give these guys an advantage. And what I'm saying is the guys ahead of them are worn out tires. They got to pit pretty quick to take and make it to the end. These guys will be able to go full throttle and able to gain on them pretty quickly. As I say, we have a change for the lead. It looks like the 87 goes low, and he'll take it over. Justin Mitchell. Actually, there's 2 87s on the car. 07 of Keith Haney. Sorry about that. 87 of Keith Haney is your new leader, taking over from Mitchell Reeves, going down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, some really good racing for the lead now. as we come into the pit stop, which will be the final pit stop of the evening, I want to add. So
Keep in mind, our top three
that.
have not pitted yet.
Topper Dugas has, though. He's actually in his box as we speak. Might that be a winning strategy for that 33 team, getting in and out promptly?
I'm thinking with the advantage that he just entered the pits at least one, maybe two laps, depending on when these guys go in, before him, he'll be able to hammer on that throttle quite a while longer and try to catch up to these guys. He'll make up when they go back in, but there's a very, very good chance he'll pass them for the lead while they're just coming out of the pits.
And right now, just watching these cars go around, 22 to go. Keith Haney, still your leader, still not yet decided to pit.
These guys can't go much longer because their speed is just scrubbing off bit by bit behind them. Of course, a lap car behind them right now, that looks like to be the 28 of Chris Voiles. Mitchell Reeves has just fallen off massively. Here he goes into the pit right now. He'll take his pit stop as Haney still goes around for one more lap. Mark Jackson will join him in the tail end, see if they can get these rubbers out and see who gets on first.
And this will be, again, the last pit stop of the evening. Jackson Reeves down pit lane. Mark Jackson doing it for Dale.
Right side of the car, Marks goes up. He'll take at least the right front, left rear, right rear. I'll get these things out. Guys will go to the other side of the car. They'll jack that up, get it down. Keith Haney right now, your leader. He is actually coming into the pits. He overshot it a little bit. I'm going to take a look at my screen. He just came in a little bit too hot, able to spin the car not necessarily sideways, but gathered it back up immediately, able to get into his pit stall pretty quick. Coming down pit lane, he'll jack it up right now. Mark Jackson, he brings it right back out on the speedway. Mitchell Reeves just ahead of him. There is your two possibilities. At the same time, we're going to keep an eye on that 33 of Topper Dugas. See where he's at in comparison to these guys. Looks like Topper's coming off of turn 4 right now. The same time, trying to get a beat on who we got here on my screen. Mitchell Reeves is still ahead of him. No, Mitchell Reeves is actually behind him right at the moment in time and being shown a lap down to the other cars that have not taken their pit yet to the end of this race.
And Justin Michael, your current race leader, as we watch Haney exit the pit. Craig Covington second to the tune of 18 seconds back. It'll be Robert Haynes, Jeffrey Merck, and Topper Dugas, your top three at the end of this pit cycle, it looks like.
Trying to remember, I believe the 42 of Bob Wells is pitted already. I'm trying to figure out this cycle because it shows him right now in 7th place. Ahead of him, the 88 of Kyle Chadwicks. Topper Dugas, who we know is pit right now, in 5th place position, able to make up a ton of ground with them for fresh good years out now. He'll come out of turn 4. Ahead of him, the 60 of Merrick, who again I believe has made his pit stop. Rob Haynes, we know as well. 96 of Craig Covington in 2nd. Justin Michael, I do not believe, has made his stop yet, and it looks like he's got some pretty massive damage on that car. Able to hold on to that first place is going to be a rough thing to have.
No nose.
Yeah, no nose on that 87 machine. Now, keep in mind, though, I'm not sure exactly when he pitted, but
he hasn't
if
pitted
he stays,
yet.
He has not pitted yet. But
no, he only has 2 pit stops. Everyone else is 3 or 4.
I understand now. You got me on that one, but he's going to have to pit. So that'll make our race leader, once he gets down pit lane, the 96 of Craig Covington.
And right now, pace car down.
His pit lane, or heading down pit lane right now in the 87 machine. Covington taking over the front spot. Rob Haynes not far behind. Eric and Dugas coming out of turn 4. They're side by side, almost going down through the front stretch to the left rear quarter.
Dugas has got the advantage on Merck at the moment.
That is for the 4th place position. Right now, Merrick will make that pass, but not without a little bit of nudge there from the 33 of Dugas. Dugas to the inside, now trying to get him on the backside. 3rd corner right now, they're door to door. He'll block that bottom line.
Oh, they'll come really close to touching.
Dugas up the track just a little bit.
Oh, I thought they touched for a second. I'm sorry.
That's all right. He had to back off to
that-
take and make that line without dumping both of them.
That looked, I was so ready to call that as a really big crash between the two of those drivers because that looked like it was. Robert Haynes has pitted, and Robert Haynes, he might have put himself on a race-winning strategy depending on how aggressive Dugas and Merck are going to get.
Dugas there in that third place position. You better discipline him well because he's been a really nice driver tonight with that damage that he's had.
Yeah, Topper Dugas. Well, like I said, I think that damage has honestly been able to help him. I really do.
No, that rear spoiler up in the air like it is, I can't deny that, Matt.
Little bit, again, not much, but I know iRacing simulates the physics really well. I think it's given him a little bit more downforce, and it's just made that car stick a little bit better.
Realized. I'm sorry, go right ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, it's probably just giving him that little bit of an edge he needs to be able to push past Merck and really just hang with these guys. Just that little tick.
Well, this isn't over with yet. Going back a little bit further in the field, the 87 of Keith Haney, 087 that is, and Mitchell Reeves are gaining on the 33 of Topper Dugas and Mr. Merrick. But again, as all this is happening, like you were saying about strategy, the 199 of Rob Hayes, he's got over a 2.5 second lead of the second place of Merrick, and he is just walking away right now with this race with 10 to go next time at the line.
And side by side for second. Keith Haney's wanting to join this party.
Giving Haney the advantage. These guys are just slowing each other down with that side-by-side racing. Haney comes up trying to split the middle down the front stretch.
You know, three-wide... Or sorry, go on.
You're all right.
I was going to say, three-wide racing kind of works till it kind of don't. I really wouldn't want to do that if I was Keith Haney, but I got a feeling he's going to do it anyway.
Keep in mind, if these guys dump each other, that 0-2 of Reeves is just waiting to take over that third-place spot.
And, you know, Topper Dugas gets the push from Keith Haney there and actually will get the pass.
Just a big old draft on the bottom. Merrick to the outside, left alone. 33 of Topper Dugas. Haney pushing it. He's looking to the inside. Not enough room to get there. 1/4 of a car length back. They'll go down the front stretch. Mitchell Reeves looking for a place to go. He'll get up behind Merrick. At the same time, Haney to the low side, to the side of Topper Dugas and 33 machine. They'll take it down through turn 2 to the back stretch.
Yeah, Haney now trying to get past Topper. It is all Robert Haynes, though, leading this race. That's the thing at the moment.
Dugas taking over the 4th place spot. Look, Mitchell, look for that door on the bottom, but we have a new party crasher. The number 3 of Mark. Mark, he'll come up to the inside of America, the 60 machine. He'll easily take away that 5th place spot. This is not over with yet. 7 laps to go right now at the line.
Sounds like you're getting your M's tied up there just a little bit. Well, I mean, hey, Mark, you know, they're really close together there.
This is some dang good racing, guys. Right down the back chute. Now they'll go front to tail as Haney's just walking away with 2nd place spot. Topper Dugas right now still covering that low line, closing the door on Mitchell Reeves. Reeves has got a run off of turn 4. Not enough to take and get to him, though. 1 car length back. Mark Jackson right in the tracks, and they're just training it down the front stretch.
And right now, it is all just 7 laps to go.
Reeves to the inside of Topper. He's looking for that 3rd place spot. He has the advantage going down into turn 3. Nose ahead of right now at Topper. Topper let it off, and Jackson's looking to follow him through. They'll go down through turn 4, but not enough room for Jackson. Not enough even to run off of turn 4. Topper will take over that 4th place and allow Mitchell Reeves to take 3rd.
Yeah, right now, 5 laps to go at the stripe. Reeves 3rd. Topper out of your top 3. But again, even if he finishes 5th, or in 4th or 5th, I'd still say a career night for that 33 team. Wouldn't you agree, Katie?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, these guys I see they're steady gaining ground on Rob Haynes, but 4 laps is just not going to be enough. I know Haney's getting close, but I really don't think they can make up a little over 2 seconds in this short of a time.
And as you guys were saying that, Mark Jackson gets around a 33 at Topper Dugas. Jackson right now in the top 4. He's using that low line for all it's worth. Those 4 fresh Goodyears, only about 10 laps old, able to take and hold on to that track. Usually about 12 to 15 laps, he start to fade off, but they have enough time to use everything up they got.
Yeah, and right now, 4 laps to go at the stripe. And that is, I think, the 99 of Taylor Potts getting past on that up line.
Yep, looks like the lap car of Taylor Potts. He is the first one on the lap down. And as we're talking about all this, Keith Haney, by the way, guys, has knocked off a second and a half of the leader with only 2.5 laps. He's down to 1 second. It was 2.69 2.5 laps ago. He comes down through turn 3. He is gaining on the leader quickly, but will he have enough time?
Yeah, and right now, 3 at the stripe, and there we go. Look at the gap you mentioned. It is getting ever so closer, but yeah, you said it. Will he have time? I don't think he will. I really don't think so.
0.821 behind the leader at the stripe, and he is closing down to about 5 to 6 car lengths, going down to 3. If it's 2 laps to go right now at the stripe, I believe you're correct there. He's got about 6 car lengths to make up, and he's made up more than that in the past 2 laps. 2 laps at the stripe. Keep an eye on that 87 to Haney. 0.444 behind the leader last time at the line. Mitchell Reeves in 3rd. Mark Jackson in 4th. Not enough time to take over 3rd place there for Mark Jackson, but a great effort for a top 5 nonetheless. Topper Dugas in the 33. He's in the top 5 position right now. Jeffrey Merrick over half a second behind him, but back up to the front to Mr. Rob Hayes. Mr. Hayes is getting closer, and we are on our last lap here at the stripe.
And that lap traffic, that's Ronald Klein. That could play a really big factor in how this plays out. Keith Haney caught him at a horrible time going into turn 1. Final lap of the race presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs. It is going to be a drag race for this win. Keith Haney's caught him. This is going to be a phenomenal finish, folks. We had a good finish on Thursday. Going through 3 and 4 for the last time here. Keith Haney to the bottom. Robert Haynes had a wiggle. Haynes at the wall. Keith Haney. Oh, they're both going to wreck. Who wrecks across the line?
He's not going to make the finish line, and Mitchell Reeves going to take the win.
No, Robert Haynes. Robert Haynes. Robert Haynes won it. He wrecked across the line.
Negative. Mitchell Reeves actually made the win according to iRacing.
You're right.
Holy cow, people.
Mitchell Reeves had it.
Mark Jackson in second.
Haynes
and Mr.
third.
Haynes did hit the line in 3rd. My Lord, what a finish that was.
Wow. Topper Dugas was scored 4th. Haney wound up 5th after that. We're going to watch that again. There's no way we can't.
In the words of Dylan Gonis, oh my Lanta.
Yeah, I mean, just wow. Have you ever?
There has been some words said over the radio that I cannot
repeat on broadcast.
Yes, let's put it that way.
We're going to put this down at half speed, and you can see Keith Haney, Robert Haynes spinning out. And look at Mitchell Reeves come up the middle of your screen, and yes, he does. Mitchell Reeves got it. What a finish.
FYI, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an apology by the 199. He did say he made that move at the end. A little overdriving of the car. He hit the wall, come down, and hit Mr. Haney, unfortunately, and wrecked the top 2 all by themselves. But what a finish for Mitchell Reeves. He's got to be a happy camper right now in that 0-2 machine.
Yeah, one way or another, Mitchell Reeves winds up the winner, and Mitchell, I don't think you were probably expecting to come home in victory lane in those final few laps, but either way, you wound up with it. How's that one got to feel, my man?
Man, I don't even know. It hadn't even had time to process what just happened about a minute and a half ago. But
pure insanity.
Yeah, we were pretty quick all night. But as the temps got up on the track and the track got hotter, it got looser, and I just really struggled with that against Keith. And we took tires there a little bit later, knowing we'd be quick, and got held up by traffic. And I was kind of already content with the 3rd place, but my buddy and teammate Mark Jackson was behind me when we hit the 1 to go, and he said, well, maybe they'll wreck. And I said, nah, I didn't think that was going to happen. And the gates of glory opened in the tri-oval, and we snuck through there for a win, so we'll definitely take it.
Yeah, you had her. Anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I got to give you a huge shout-out to Over the Top Paints and Designs, John Hedrick with this awesome paint scheme, racegear.com. Go check them out. They'll be our title sponsor for Over the Top Motorsports all year long. Speaking of Over Top Motorsports, all those guys there, me and Mark really worked well together. I know Merck had a tough time. He had a heck of a battle to come back, and Ron's still getting some struggles out. But when he hits a roll, it's going to be scary for all of us. But just happy to be in victory lane, and unfortunately, we're not going to be running this full season all year. But I'm starting to think about it now. So.
Hey, I'd go for it right there. Anyway, thank you for talking to us, and I mean, great job on that finish.
Appreciate it. And also a huge shout out to the broadcast too. I know you guys are bad to the bone. I really appreciate. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Hey, we try to do the best we can. Thank you for talking to us. Next up on the interview block, it'll be second place finisher, and I believe we're going for what, Mark Jackson there? Yes, Mark Jackson. We'll get Mark Jackson up here. We'll get Ray Richer to talk to Mr. Mark Jackson. Take her away.
I was really hoping you'd say that. Listen, Mr. Mark freaking Jackson. Dude, you were in the top 5 as high as you could be all night long. You just took away second place, man. Talk us all about it.
Wow, man. What a run. God, that was fun. We, going into the race, I really didn't never really make a long run. And this, our racegear.com, over the top paint Chevrolet Camaro, man. Woo-wee, she was fast. We talked a little bit earlier about saving some tire for the end, and it paid off. I mean, we put ourselves in if something happened like that to maybe pull out a victory. And Mitchell and I were on the radio talking about it. And sure enough, it happened. That's crazy. The odds in Vegas, things went our way. Just one position away from stealing a win, but.
Hey, man, you can't complain about that, though, in second place, because I'll tell you, again, we were watching you nice and steady coming up through the field. When you got around top Redugas there for 5th place, we were wondering if you were going to be able to hold on to the traction that you had in them tires. But that late pit, like you did before, fantastic job. Anybody you want to thank tonight, man?
I do. Again, I want to thank racegear.com, John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints. I want to thank the Lord and thank God for our wonderful president, and as always, my wonderful wife for supporting me in everything we do. And ASN, I know they do it. You guys do a great job on the broadcast. Just thank you, everybody.
Hey, Ben, I'll tell you what, fantastic little paint job you got on that number 3, man. Do it for Dale there. 3 for Dale. You did a great job, man, and you just brought a home victory for second place tonight. Mark Jackson, second place this evening in the number 3 machine.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and last up on the interview block, third place finisher, and that'll be Robert Haynes, who, potentially had that win all the way up till the end of it, and that'll be with Katie Dugas. Take it away.
Hey, Rob, it's Katie up in the booth. You got a copy on us?
10-4, Katie.
Well, we kind of heard Ray was listening a little bit up there, and it said you kind of took the rap for that. Kind of walk us through that last lap and tell us what happened.
Yeah, I seen Keith was fast. He was coming. My tires were shot at the end of that run, and I overdrove turn 3 and 4 straight up. Caught the wall there and came down to Keith, and I feel really bad about that. I apologize to Keith, and I hope we can smooth that over. But just overdrove that last little section of track, and that's cost me the win there.
Well, you clearly had the idea because we saw you pit off, way earlier than a lot of these guys. You clearly had the run coming out of that. So I got to say, your pit strategy was amazing. And in the words of my favorite movie, Rubbin's Racing. This is going to happen week in, week out. Guess what? You still have another week, and I'm going to use Mark Jackson's idol. Dale tells us, every week you have to race these guys week in, week out. I mean, I got to say it. You can't carry over a grudge, but you put on, I'm going to say, a hell of a race because I thought you had it hemmed up right there at the end.
Yeah, so I split that last run there, got into the pits at, I think at the end of lap 25 of the run, so I was trying to split that section in half, and it worked out. It got me way out front, but the tires went away about 5 laps before the finish there. The tires just went away, and back end wanted to come around in that low line, and I wasn't too comfortable running the high line. I tried to stick to the low line and feel I do a bit better down there and can manage it. But once those tires go away, it's hard to catch sometimes, and had a couple of oh crap moments, and Keith, I think Keith would have had that. Man, I wish we could have run that out a bit differently. But congrats out to Mitchell and Mark Topper. Man, good racing with you guys. Loose Lugnuts is man, I'm having fun with you guys.
I was gonna say, still a podium finish. It's still got to feel good. I mean, you dominated the last end of that race. I'm gonna say that. Anybody you want to credit to, give shout out to for, I'm gonna say, a fantastic top 3.
Well, I mean, my teammates down at Bandit Motorsports there, and Loose Lugnuts, and John and Ronald and admins who oversee all this and make it all happen. And you guys in the broadcast booth, the fans who are watching, we all appreciate it, and I hope we put on a good show for you.
You definitely did. Richmond next week. How you feel going into it?
Yeah, enjoy Richmond. I'll get some practice in and see how the track is. Yeah, I think I should fare pretty well there.
All right, sir. Well, we'll check back in with you. Hope to see you on track tomorrow night with the Cup Series. But like I said, congratulations again on top 3 finish.
Appreciate the interview, Katie. Appreciate the call on the race, Ray, Matt. I'm sure you guys did a great job. I'll be going back and watching it for sure.
All right, folks, and from all of us at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And, we'll see you next time. It was a great night of racing. Have a great night, everybody. We'll catch you around.
And we are green. Evenly start, inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Hollinger.
The drivers around the corners as long as they hit their...
Max